Coming up this week, off screen.
Andrew Garfield briefs.
Armie Hammer gets called by his name.
Only Gerard Butler can stop a Geostorm.
Jigsaw returns with a new game.
We head back to the Overlook for a reissue of The Shining.
It's time to bask all over again in perfect blue.
And Grace Jones shows us Bloodlight and Bami.
All those to come and more, off screen.
This is Off Screen. Off Screen. Off Screen. Off Screen. With the latest film news and reviews, this is Off Screen, the on-screen radio show.
Welcome to Off Screen, I'm Van Connor.
I am Case Allen.
So, Mr. Allen, before the news, the reviews, box office top 5.
We should talk about Geostorm.
We should talk about Geostorm. But of course, we need something to kick us off news-wise before we get to the absolute joy of Geostorm. I know
I just want to talk about. I'm only here for Geostorm.
I know, but we can't play our hand too early. We can't. It's too good. It's too much. There's too much Storm. It's not just any Storm.
I've got news I like as well. I don't like it as much as Geostorm, but I do really like it if it happens.
Okay, all right. So it's kind of good. It's kind of good. Okay.
Yeah, because Ben Mendelsohn is in talks to be the main villain for Captain Marvel.
Okay, that's awesome. I like that.
Love Ben Mendelsohn. Love him a lot.
I liked him as the villain of Rogue One.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll like him as the villain of
Captain Marvel.
of Ready Player One.
Yes, he is, isn't he? I keep forgetting that one.
Yeah,
but
and he's going to be Sheriff of Nottingham as well.
Of course he is. So he's the villain of that as well, presumably. And
he's a villain a lot.
He's a good villain.
But yeah, because he's good at it.
Well, Rickman's not around anymore, so we need a natural successor. Why not Ben Mendelsohn?
We need the Australian Rickman. That's what we need.
We need Australian Rickman.
We've been missing that. Yeah. But, so we've not said who he's going to be playing, but we do know that the bad guys are going to be
Skrulls, aren't they?
Skrulls.
In which case, he could be the Super Skrull.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is interesting. So the Skrulls that storyline in the comics does actually come after Civil War, the Secret Invasion, where the heroes start being unmasked as alien imposters.
I love that storyline as well.
The Avengers animated series that's been out this last couple of years, I think Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I think it was called. They did a good version of it.
Well, they've said that the title to Avengers 4 is a spoiler.
Yes, they have. I wonder, do you think that's what it is? Do you think it's... Because doesn't Captain Marvel come before Avengers 4?
Yes.
Oh my God,
it comes out in March and then the other one comes out May.
So it could very easily be Secret Invasion.
And this is set in the 90s.
It is. Oh my God. So the idea it could be that they've had 30 years to get their pieces into place. I'm sold. You can sell me on that.
If that is what's happened, that is genius.
Oh man, so we go from Josh Brolin to Ben Mendelsohn as a potential Avengers villain as well. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm sold.
Because he's a big name now.
He is now.
And he's worked, like, how old is Ben Mendelsohn? He's got to be 50.
Older than you think.
He's got to be 50, something like that, yeah.
But, alas, I look forward to that. So Brie Larson, Sam Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, that's all we know so far.
That's all we know.
And actually, he was in Mississippi Grind.
Yes, he was.
The director of Mississippi Grind, obviously directing this.
Yeah, that makes sense then, actually. I would actually believe the rumour then in that case. Anna Boden and John Fleck, I want to say?
Ryan Fleck.
Ryan Fleck. Sorry, John Fleck is the actor from Star Trek. Sorry.
That's it. But yeah, I'm all on board.
Okay.
And this is the last known original MCU film as well. We don't know what the next could be named or.
We don't know.
I mean, it won't be.
Could be World War Hulk. We don't know. I mean, it's not going to be World War Hulk, is it? But
could be Moon Knight.
Could be.
Will be.
We'll see.
We were saying, weren't we? I was saying a Sam Raimi directed Moon Knight.
I would be down for that.
Take my money.
I would totally be down for that. So, speaking of things that you are very down for, let's get to it. Let's just drop the mic. Let's get to the Geostorm.
I'm so ready for this.
Okay, we go to the plot, we do the clip, and then let's just go nuts. So it is it's like a couple of years in the future, like 2 or 3 years in the future, I believe, something like that.
It's 2019.
2019. Okay, so climate change has just gone haywire. It's threatening to destroy all the planet. But don't worry, Gerard Butler's here. And he and the US government and the Chinese government have banded together and created Dutch Boy, a weather control system which actually surrounds the Earth in a literal net of satellites. And they're all connected by cables. Yeah. And it looks like an actual net. Gerard Butler, through reasons relating to politics and his general loutish,
He's surly
behaviour.
He doesn't need a team.
Yeah.
He's one man.
He's a loose cannon. He don't play by
He's a
no
maverick.
rules.
Yeah.
He's fired from the project. His younger brother, played by Jim Sturgis, takes his place. And 3 years later, well, something's wrong with Dutch Boy. And an Afghan village finds itself and all its citizens frozen to death. And Gerard Butler is whizzed out of retirement and sent back into space to find out what's wrong with the satellite networks he developed. Here's a clip of him being pitched this mission.
There's something wrong with Dutch Boy.
No, there isn't.
Well, an entire village of dead Afghans may disagree with you. Yeah. And then yesterday, an airlock just opened by itself. We lost one of our crew.
Dutch Boy's not my problem anymore.
That I am calling on. Because other than your daughter and your precious soccer club, Dutch Boy was all you ever gave a damn about.
Oh, yeah, once. Yeah, but you took care of that.
You don't care. No? Well, then what are you doing living out here?
Yeah, in typical Gerard Butler style, he has a trailer home next to the launching pad for NASA.
Well, I think that's Gerard Butler's actual home.
I think it actually is, yeah. I learned the other day he has a home in New York. I didn't know this. In which he keeps a giant piece of meteorite. So
I thought you were just going to say a giant piece of meat. That'd be even better.
No, Gerard Butler is the giant piece of
giant piece of meat, yeah.
Right, okay, so this was reportedly dogged by production troubles. Okay, so they've made the movie.
You can't tell.
You went back. You can't tell.
To be fair
You can't.
to it,
No,
you can't tell.
They apparently made half of it again after the fact. You can't tell at all. No, you really can't.
It is seamless.
Oh yeah. It starts with its finger firmly over the moron button, and it holds it there consistently throughout. This is a movie that absolutely knows what it wants to be. This is a movie that really knows how to sell Gerard Butler, the action hero scientist. And this is the weird part. Is it me, or have they got the two brothers cast the wrong way around for their actual respective storylines?
I think so, yeah.
It's bizarre, isn't it? So you've got Jim Sturgis, complete with his "I've just had a lobotomy" haircut. And
yeah, what? There's like a bit in his hair that's like
it
hanging
changes
off
at
as
one
well.
point. It's weird. He has like a mullet.
It's a wig.
It clearly is.
Yeah.
But he looks like, in those in From Hell, when they give one of the victims the lobotomy and then she has that weird sort of scraggly haircut. Looks exactly like that.
It does. So Jim Sturgis, lobotomized.
Exactly. So Jim Sturgis on the ground with the world's most sexified Secret Service agent, played by Abby Cornish, who apparently was added in the reshoots.
Was she?
Yes. Apparently,
She's in quite a lot.
she's in quite a lot. That tells
So
us
we just
something.
like built a whole relationship.
Built a whole new female character. Yeah. And then you've got Gerard Butler on the space station, all of which looks strangely like the moon-based set from Independence Day Resurgence. And he's working with...
It's got to be the same set. It's got to be.
It's got to be, yeah. And he's working with a German female scientist up there to try and figure out why this whole ghost in the machine thing's going off.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest movie I've seen in years. It makes the core look like Deep Impact.
I think it's really great.
It really is. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, because
absolutely all the wrong reasons.
It's like it's 12 different types of film in one.
Yeah.
It is literally a madcap comedy at one point. It's a detective story in space at one point.
Oh no, it's a whodunit with one suspect. That's my favourite part. It's a whodunit that offers up one suspect and then expects you to be surprised.
Yeah, it's like,
that's the
whodunit? Him.
Yeah, him.
Over there.
The only other character in this storyline.
Who else do you think it is?
Yeah. And then there's the whodunit in space where it's
but it's
gonna be
it's a twofer.
It's going to be him, the only one with a personality.
Yeah, they tried to like subvert it a little bit by thinking, is it the one that looks suspicious? No, it's not.
No, it's the one with the personality.
It's the arrogant one. Yeah.
Oh god! And then there's Gerard Butler, who at one point, and I couldn't explain this, he's weirdly puffy faced in the film. Do you know why? Because this came out last week.
Oh, is this for bee venom?
Bee venom.
Yeah.
He's been having 10 times the recommended dose of bee venom injected into himself for virility, basically.
So, the recommended dose, none.
Yeah. Gerard Butler, 10 times that.
So he's had 10 doses.
10 doses of bee venom.
If you go to a doctor,
dermatology.
if you go to a doctor and the doctor says, take 10 shots of bee venom, walk out.
Exactly. That's the world's worst GP, isn't it?
That's Trump's GP. That's the one with the long hair.
Oh, good God. Right. It's
Go
so-
see it.
Yeah.
Go see it.
Go see this. You will laugh so hard at it that you can't honestly say you disliked it. No one's disliking it.
I mean,
You'll laugh
I
at it and
think
love it.
it's laughing as well. I think that film is laughing.
Yeah.
Andy Garcia was laughing all the way to the bank.
Andy Garcia, whose character doesn't have a name for the first 2/3, you're just calling him President.
Yeah, and then it's Palmer, was it?
I think it's Oh no, it's Palmer with an A on the end, not ER, which I thought it was. So it's the Latino Palmer.
I did appreciate that because
Yeah.
I mean, since the West Wing, you don't see many Latino presidents, do you?
Right, back me up on this as well. If you swapped out Gerard Butler for Casper Van Dien, you'd have a
right.
Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I kind of love that about this $130 million practical.
Can't believe it's cost that much.
Oh, neither can I. Should we plug our competitions and podcast really quick?
Are we plugging Geostorm?
We do have a Geostorm competition.
Plug
Let's
away,
do that.
son. Plug away.
Okay, so competitions. Until the 30th, we've got 3 competitions going. We've got Gifted, we're giving away DVDs for that. We've got A Man Called Ove, Blu-rays and novels. We've got Lego Ninjago, we're giving you a full merchandise pack, t-shirts, gym bag, lots of fun
All
in
the
there.
stuff, yeah.
All the stuff. And Geostorm, complete with survival pack, backpack, emergency thermal blanket, solar battery charger, and lightning beanie, which is what everyone needs.
Yeah, so if you find yourself in space, trying to put some
everything
satellites
you
back
need.
together, you got it covered.
If you need to rewire a satellite network, you've got all the things you need. And all you need to do is pop along to onscreenfilm.com, go in our competition section, and boom, Bob's your brother's brother. In the meanwhile,
There's still more I want to talk about.
there is. In the meanwhile, though, we got Geostorm in the actual box office top 5, so we get to talk about it all over again.
I'll talk about it then.
You will. In the meanwhile, don't forget Podcast Edition on Acast, Deezer, SoundCloud, iTunes. Pick your podcast platform of choice, and you will find the extended version of the Off-Screen Show.
I thought you were going to have some dope alliteration, man.
No.
Pick your podcast poison?
Oh. Podcast Poison, yes, that works.
Yeah.
Pick your podcast poison, there you go then. Okay, and don't forget this week, that is where we are reviewing Jigsaw and The Shining. They will be in the podcast extras after the credits.
With the latest film news and reviews. This is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
Back and dancing, Mr. Allen. So, where should we go next?
That film that Andy Serkis has made.
Is it about the Prodigy?
That old Spider-Man.
That old Spider-Man?
And the Queen.
The Queen.
The Queen from The
Oh,
Crown.
yeah, that Queen. Yeah, I thought Helen Mirren was in this.
Oi, Queen.
Oi, Queenie.
What are you doing? She's going to be Elizabeth Salander, isn't she?
Yes,
Claire
Claire Foy is going to be Elizabeth Salander, yes.
There you go, bonus news.
And she's going to have an evil twin sister in this one, but I'll save that for you in the film news to come. In fact, if you want to do that after this, you can. Right, so... Segue. Okay, so Breathe, which is based on the true story of Robin Cunningham. It is the directorial debut of Andy Serkis as well. Robin Cunningham basically got polio. He was an athlete, a cricket player. He got polio shortly after his wife became pregnant. He was given a diagnosis of mere weeks to live, as was the case at the time. It just wasn't a condition that people lasted very long with. He had to be kept on a ventilator in order to keep breathing, and he and his very creative friends, the main one of whom is played by Hugh Bonneville, come up with a way to actually design a portable ventilator that can be put onto a wheelchair and allow him a life outside of being bedridden and allow him to actually go out into the world. However, because of the funding involved in actually creating the chair, in order to actually make it something that other people with his condition can benefit from, he quickly draws the ire of, for instance, the disabled charitable communities, etc., and he's looked down upon as being sort of weird and kind of a strange revolutionary because of it. And it is this tale of adversity, how he wants to basically make life better for people with disabilities in a time when that just wasn't the done thing. Here is a clip of Andrew Garfield shortly after his diagnosis.
Everything's as bad as it could possibly be. But I can't go on coming in here and have you say that you wish you were dead. Because you're not dead. And that's that. Robin. Come on, there must be something I can do to make things more bearable.
Get me out of here.
Claire Foy and Andrew Garfield there. And okay, so the performances are very good here. And so Andrew Garfield kind of gets your your token Oscar-worthy I'm the guy in the disabled role thing. Yeah, the Eddie Redmayne.
The Eddie Redmayning for best Redmayne in a Redmayne.
Exactly, yes, the best Redmayning.
The Redmaynies.
Totally. Exactly, the Redmaynies. But obviously this time around, rather like Theory of Everything, Claire Foy emerges the star. So in the way that Felicity Jones emerges the star of The Theory of Everything, Claire Foy emerges the star here. And the film does have a little bit of tonal overlap with The Theory of Everything. The stories are kind of similar in one sense, and there is a sort of the adversity angle of it. I would argue this is a lot more likeable than The Theory of Everything was. It's a bit more twee, a bit more ye old classic British. You've got Tom Hollander pulling the Army Hammer trick and playing twin brothers. You've got Hugh Bonneville.
Nice.
I know. Tom Hollandish, I want to say. And then you've got Hugh Bonneville, who's giving it some of the old college charm. Stephen Mangan turns up in quite a likeable small role as well.
I like Stephen Mangan a lot.
I do as well.
I like it when he's in films.
I do. I'm very disappointed to see the end of episodes recently, though. And you're looking at me like you didn't know that. It ended.
I know that it's ended.
Ah, okay.
I thought you meant something like that happened.
Oh, no, the end is finished. It came to
Yeah,
the next one.
I know it's finishing. I thought like his character died or something where you'd said it.
No, I think it actually ends in Soho screening rooms, believe it or not. But
Strange. I will watch it.
Very weird. But yeah, I do like the performances all round. Andy Serkis gives it a good go behind the camera as well. He's clearly got some chops for this. It's surprising, not really surprising actually, given the amount of second unit work he's done in his career to date, that he's managed to perfect it to the level he has here.
Yeah, it was the second unit on. Was it? It wasn't Lord of the Rings. Was it The Hobbit?
I think it was one of the Hobbits. Yeah. Well, was it the first one? I think. But,
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, very solid work. It's not a groundbreaking movie or anything like that, but it is very good. It's a better version of The Theory of Everything.
It's quite personal to him as well, isn't it?
It is.
Because his mum was involved with. Yeah,
as well, and I believe the
challenge.
producer of the film is actually Robin Cunningham's son.
Oh, cool.
So, is it son or grandson? And he apparently brought the script to Andy Serkis. That's how it worked. So he's actively involved in this film, and it does kind of show because there is a reverence to it.
I quite like it when it's a family affair like that.
It really is.
Like there's a new Dracula being written. I think we've spoken about it.
We did, yes.
And the person who is writing it is Bram
Dacre?
Stoker. Yeah.
Dacre Stoker, isn't
Dacre
it?
Stoker.
Yeah.
Great grandson or something like that. It's pretty awesome.
Which is fair, absolutely. You know, he's got the birth certificate to prove it. He can write what he wants.
Yeah.
But so, piece of news before we go to Miss Jones.
Yeah, let's tie it in. So we're talking about Claire Foy being in
The Girl in the Spider's
Girl.
Web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get confused.
I do.
I know that this is one that has not been filmed. This one.
Well, this is one that wasn't written by the original guy either. This is the fourth in the trilogy, to quote the Orange advert.
Yes.
This is literally the fourth.
We're going to make the fourth in the trilogy.
Yeah.
Trilogy literally means three.
Yeah, it's literally, in this case, the fourth in the trilogy.
I miss those Orange adverts.
I do
miss
as well.
it. I love that guy as well. I love it like he quit those to actually be in films properly.
And the only one I can remember seeing him in is State of Play.
Yes, he was in State of Play. Sylvia Hoeks, we say?
Sylvia Hoeks, I think we're going with that, yeah?
Yeah,
From Blade Runner 2049.
she's going to be in Girl in the Spider's Web.
And she's her evil twin.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Does that make her a hacker as well? Is she going to do the gothy makeup thing as well? Or?
Maybe.
We shall
We
see.
shall see.
We shall see.
Fede Alvarez is directing it, and I'm a fan of him.
I'm a fan. I like the Evil Dead remake. I very much liked Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe was great.
It really was.
I might watch that again this Halloween.
I can't watch it with my dog in the house, though, because she goes nuts.
Not a Stephen Lang fan.
No, Lola just doesn't like other dogs on our TV. She tries to protect you from them by barking at the TV. So Don't Breathe, not a film I can rewatch very often.
That film's got your boy in it as well.
Dylan Minnette.
Dylan Minnette,
My
yeah.
boy, dog. He's my boy.
Dylan, my boy.
But, okay, from my boy to your girl, let's talk about Ms. Jones.
She is my girl.
She is.
Yeah.
And having seen the film, I can see why you would love her so much. Grace Jones' Bloodlight and Bami, which is a documentary apparently 10 years in the making.
Really?
So apparently they have filmed this over the course of 10 years. And it is half concert movie, half documentary, would be the best way to describe it. So what you have is a series of a series of performances from different gigs, intercut with basically just scenes from her life, how she wanders from one gig to the next, contract negotiations, which are really something to behold. You've not lived until you've seen a Grace Jones contract negotiation, which literally involves her adopting a Jamaican accent and screaming at someone down the phone. Really. And that's it. And it is just a portrait of Grace Jones the woman and Grace Jones the performer, and the very thin line that exists between the pair. Here's a clip.
The performer out there takes the risk. It's a lonely place, but it's a fascinating lonely place. I've been around the block too many times. Around the globe is more like it. Hello! I had so much rage. I'm a gypsy. Please.
Did you ever think that Grace would be a movie star?
Sure, baby. Listen to me. I'm human, man. I'm human.
So, yeah, Grace Jones on the big screen again, Mr. Allen.
I love her. I love her so much.
I can see why. I hope we all have the opportunity to be this active when we're 69 years old. That's insane to me. I couldn't believe that until you told me.
Yeah.
But, okay, so this is directed by Sophie Fiennes, who brought us The Pervert's Guide to Cinema about 10 years ago. And this is the thing, you don't really get much of a directorial sense for it, given the sort of style of film that it is. There's a lot of handheld, a lot of personal footage intercut with effectively static gig shots. But obviously the star of this is the energy and the charisma of Grace Jones herself. And if you are a fan, which I know you are, I'm not particularly a Grace Jones fan. I love what she represents in cinema. In that moment, she was the unlikely Bond girl. Yeah.
Mayday.
Mayday, yes. And was it Conan the Destroyer she was in as well, I think?
Yeah, Zula.
Zula, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the thing. I'd imagine if you are a fan in the manner that you are, you're going to eat this film up. It has so many just great vintage Grace Jones moments.
Just Grace Jones being Grace Jones.
Just Grace Jones being Grace Jones. And her charisma and her personality really does permeate the screen. It really does grip you. I say this as someone who isn't a particularly a Grace Jones fan. I did find myself captivated and enthralled by her and wanted to know more about really what she's been up to since. I kind of now actually do want to learn more about Grace Jones, which from a concert movie / this, because academically this isn't a million miles removed from Katy Perry's Part of Me. So,
which is not bad. I've seen some of it.
Yeah, it's not
on
bad.
Netflix.
It's not bad. It is on Netflix, and the moments with Russell Brand are weirdly hilarious now. But
yeah, they really are kind of like
they
after
really
facts.
are. They are after the fact.
Were you a slave to the rhythm?
I was a slave to the rhythm very much. I look forward to enjoying the rhythm again. I can't wait for you to see it. I'm very curious to see what you make of it as well, because I'd be fascinated to see what you get out of it that I didn't. Really enjoyed it.
With the latest film news and reviews. This is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
Come with me if you want to. And we're back, Mr. Allen. So, do you want some fun? Should we have some fun now?
I do want fun. Fun is fun.
Fun is fun.
Fun is fun.
So, box office top 5?
Let's do it.
Let's rock.
Number 5.
The Death of Stalin. I've still not seen it. I am 100% going to see it by the end of next week. Because I'm on half term.
You are, yes.
Yay! I get to do things like watch films.
Well, you're getting a whole day of them, courtesy of the National Press Show. So
yeah, and we'll probably talk about it later on.
We will.
Yeah.
Death of Stalin, I absolutely loved. I had such a good time with this. I think it might be the funniest thing Armando Iannucci has ever put his name to. I think Jason Isaacs steals it for reasons I won't go into. Andrea Riseborough, Rupert Friend, Steve Buscemi, Jeffrey Tambor, Michael Palin.
Rupert Friend, as well?
Rupert Friend, yeah. Simon Russell Beale as well.
Yeah, such a good cast.
Amazing cast. Offered up great writing, lavish cinematography, and they just deliver what can only be described as in the loop for Soviet Russia. In Soviet Russia, loop ins you. So, has Twitter got anything on the matter?
In fact, at KatyTaty123.
Okay.
I'm enjoying that name.
I am indeed.
Or Katie Wood.
Okay.
She saw The Death of Stalin last night. Brackets, the film, not actual event.
Not the actual event. That's fair.
Amazing. Utterly wonderful. Bravo at A. Iannucci.
Number 4.
Happy Death Day. I've seen this.
What did you think of it?
I had a lot of fun. It's just really, it's a good time.
That seems to be the consensus. A lot of people are going with, it's a lot of fun. It's not a scary horror movie.
No, not at all. And I don't think it makes any bones about that.
I think it's more. I think it's quite refreshingly light-hearted, quite enjoyably comedic, and I really like that about it. I like the performance though from the lead actress, Jessica Rothe.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen her in anything else.
No, I hadn't either. She's one of the girls from La La Land.
I did see that. She's one of her
one of the three
housemates,
friends,
roommates.
something like that. But no, I really enjoyed it. Really liked the idea that this is the latest Blumhouse thing. I think it's a little gem in the Blumhouse crowd.
Blumhouse are rocking out.
Oh, they really are.
Spend $2 or $3 million on a film, and get some good ideas behind it, make a bunch of money.
I don't think I've asked you this. Have you heard of the Nerdist episode with Jason Blum yet?
Do you know what? No. I'd be really interested.
I listened to it last week. Really interesting, really good. Check that
is it worth putting up with Chris Hardwick for?
Just about. I know it's a fine line for me to have to put it with Chris Hardwick, but
sometimes I don't mind it, but sometimes,
So what have you got a tweet on this one?
I do. At Chris Hayden 99. This is some boring names.
Okay.
Boring names. Happy Death Day is the most surprising and subversive slasher flick since Scream. It manages to be a feel-good horror film. Awesome. I agree.
I agree as well.
Number 3.
Oh, I love that song.
I thought you
It's
might.
1997. Tim Wheeler is popular. Lego Ninjago movie.
Which I had a lot of fun with.
I still want to say Ninjago.
Ninjago. Yeah, I kind of do sometimes as well. But no, I think it's the weakest of the 3 Lego movies, but it's still really good. It's still really, really good, really, really fun, really enjoyable. It's a better Power Rangers movie than either of the 2 Power Rangers movies.
Oh, I don't know. Ivan Ooze.
Well, exactly, but this does have Jackie Chan. So, anyway, so yeah, have we got a tweet on it?
We do. At Neil Fix. Just watched Lego Ninjago. Odd, but surprisingly good. I like how to the point with this.
That is very to the point.
Number 2.
Best film of the year so far.
And what have we got?
Geostorm.
Okay, so Geostorm. Well, when you see our review, it's a film I laughed my ass off at for all the wrong reasons, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it because I was having such fun laughing at it.
I have a theory.
Go on.
I think this is a shared universe kind of a scenario.
And what's
shared
it sharing
with
with?
Gravity and Apollo 13.
Okay, I'm gonna let you explain that another time, but I'm looking forward to it because
I'll just say Ed Harris. Ed Harris.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is an excellent point.
Same character.
Do you think he retired from
Same
Mission
character.
Control and then went into
And then went
government?
into politics. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
is
what
he-
I'm thinking.
Is he the Secretary of State or the Secretary of Defence? I can't remember.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. Fair enough.
So at All Wrong Think.
Okay. All wrong think?
Work on your names, people. Work on your names. Work on your Twitter.
This is the problem with Twitter.
I know. Geostorm is a movie written by someone whose only contact with other humans is other movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Homer Simpson writing to Mad Max.
Hey, it's not like a Chromebook. You can't just switch it off and on again. Terrible, terrible line.
Number 1.
Blade Runner, the new one.
The new one.
That's what it should have been called.
One of probably the best live-action sequel since Godfather 2. I absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous, stunning
Beverly
film.
Hills Chihuahua 2.
Oh God, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
But,
chapter 2.
I'm trying, or since a Very Brady sequel, but
That's your go-to.
that's my go-to, a Very Brady sequel, or D2, The Mighty Ducks.
D2 is genuinely fantastic.
D2 is a great sequel. I give you its due, but it's no Blade Runner 2049.
That entire trilogy. No, it's not.
Blade Runner
It could have done with some more Emilio Estevez.
It could, yeah. But I'd say that about this movie. I could watch it on mute, and I would still find it as astonishing.
Yeah, or you could watch it with no dialogue.
Or you could watch it with no dialogue, or you could watch it with the visuals switched off and still love it.
I've just listened to the score. I've just listened to that in
beautiful,
the
isn't
car.
It really is.
It's the closest I'm ever going to be to actually being Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling has never been in Ford Focus in his life.
Yeah, that's probably true, actually. Yeah. Ryan Gosling does not know what a Focus is.
Ryan Reynolds drove a Fiesta in The Hitman's Bodyguard. I appreciated that.
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
I liked that. So Twitter,
Go on, what tweet have we got?
at Neon Taster.
Neon Taster, okay.
Okay. Says, saw Blade Runner 2049 again. Clearly fan.
Clearly.
Movie of the year, one of the best sci-fi flicks of the past 20 years, and one of the best sequels ever made. I concur.
I concur as
Sounds
well.
like we all concur. Yeah, it's good. Harrison Ford is not phoning it in.
He's not. It's strange how effective he is, actually, when he isn't phoning it in. He's still got the goods. But, yeah, I can't wait to see it again.
Did you see about, I mean, it's a bit of a dirty word right now, but there was an honest trailer about Blade Runner.
Yes.
And at the end we say, what role would you like to see Harrison Ford go back to next? And it was like, re-regarding Henry.
Re-regarding
Witness. Yeah.
Oh, man. Or Air Force 2. Oh, Air Force 2. Yeah, Air Force 2 is one, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we are getting Air Force 2 because it's going to be the Olympus Has Fallen threequel.
Yeah, called Angel Has Fallen.
Oh, film news for that one, by the way. Gerard
It's the same
Butler.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, go on, you say it.
So Joe Butler has said that the Angel Has Fallen is going to be like Logan.
That's amazing to me.
Yes.
It's going to be a smaller, more personal film. Yeah.
But on the president's plane.
On the president's plane.
Do we know who the president's going to be? Because Aaron Eckhart is not going to be in it.
Aaron Eckhart's not, but Morgan Freeman is.
So Morgan Freeman, because
he could have graduated up.
He was the Veep, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the Veep in the second. He was the Secretary of State in the... Oh, no, he's the Speaker of the House in the first one.
Yeah.
Then he's the Veep in the second, so he might be president.
Might be president.
I'm telling you, get Gary Busey
in
as the
which
new president.
case,
Go on.
shared universe, deep impact, he actually survived. He was in a bunker, and we found him, and he was
Fair
like,
enough.
I don't want the top job again, too stressful, I'll be Secretary of State, get me...
And then he's accidentally graduated up the
Get
ladder.
me Two-Face, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
That's your arc.
Oh my god. Amazingly, that would work. So, should we do a really quick review? Of Perfect Blue, which is not a film I was overly familiar with. It's being reissued this week, and it's an anime movie. I'm just pulling up the details on here. It's an anime movie from 1997 or 1997. Sorry, and this is really something. This is about a 1/3 of a pop act, a pop duo called Cham. Right, they are three sort of teenage schoolgirls, one of whom quits the band and decides she wants to go into acting. She's leaving the band to pursue her dream of acting.
Queen of a band, man.
Exactly. Yeah. She starts being inundated with threats by fax because this was 1997, and she's given a link to a website that seems to spy on her every move, and at one point even features diary entries supposedly written by her in which she sort of derides her career and her fan base. She starts pursuing the acting career. She takes on roles that prove a bit psychologically taxing for her, and she's basically being stalked by a psychopath. And what you get very quickly is a sort of who is the psycho, unmasking the nutter kind of a storyline. It's a bit Sleeping with the Enemy, a bit Single White Female, a bit The Bodyguard, but without the actual bodyguard. And it's gorgeous to look at. It's absolutely stunning. And it's really ahead of its time in terms of how it views, online stalking and things like that. This is 97. It's really ahead of, it's like shockingly ahead of the curve. If you disregard the sort of the dating of the visuals, which is a little bit of crackling, a little bit of distortion, you would think this was a film that was cobbled together last week. It's really astonishing. It's very gripping. It's very graphic in places as well. And yeah, from opening to ending, I was absolutely hooked on this. It's stunning. I mean, I hadn't ever seen it. I don't know if you have.
No, I've heard of it, but no, never seen it.
Definitely worth checking out. It's something that kind of flew under the radar because at that point we were all talking about things like Ghost in the Shell and Akira and films like that. So it's something like this kind of went unfairly under the radar, and it's really it's astonishing. You watch this and I'm like, oh my god.
Can we have a live action remake? Can we whitewash it?
Can we have a live-action remake? Can we whitewash it? I think Ghost in the Shell has proven that you actually can.
But whether you should.
Yeah, but whether you should.
You spent so much time
thinking about whether or not you could. You absolutely shouldn't, though.
With the latest film news and reviews, this is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
And we're back for one last round, Mr. Allen. So...
Say it again. Say it like Vin Diesel.
One last round.
There it is. I ain't got podcasts. I got family. Family.
So, a piece of film news to take me to the last review, then what we got?
Cool. So, you know this Dick Cheney film that's coming out?
Yeah, that's the Christian Bale one.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, doesn't it?
It does,
really,
that's the one with Tyler Perry as Colin Powell, Sam Rockwell as George W. Bush, Kristen Wiig or Amy Adams, I can't remember which one. I get those two actresses confused.
Really?
Yeah.
I understand Rachel McAdams and Amy Adams.
Well, it's just a name.
Yeah.
But they're playing Cheney's wife.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm aware of that film.
scratch out, forget that. We're not talking about that film.
Okay.
However, we are going to talk about another film about Colin Powell.
Okay.
Tyler Perry's going to play Colin Powell in that one, you said?
Yes.
There's going to be a full film about Colin Powell, played by Morgan Freeman.
Wow, you couldn't get two more disparate actors than Colin Powell and than Morgan Freeman and Tyler Perry, could you?
I don't know. Morgan Freeman and Kavon Wallace.
Yeah, well, that's very different. That's a
We've
very
not
different.
mentioned Kavon Wallace for.
No, I feel like we should have a bell that we just ring.
Kavon Bell.
So Morgan Freeman.
That's good. I can definitely see that.
Oh, hang on. Is this one? He's going to be the focus of that movie then, rather than a bit player in the
Yeah, I understand Tyler Perry's Colin Powell is going to be not a bit player, but like it's going to be in the entourage, I guess. Or
okay, so
in the ensemble.
As far as I know, the Colin Powell one is going to be called Colin. Colin. Right,
Colin.
First of all, everyone's going to call it Colin.
Yeah,
and how many people?
Colin Powell is a different bloke.
Yeah,
completely. Like lives in Norwich somewhere.
Colin Powell. He's the local grocer in a town in Norwich. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, he's not the Secretary of Defence. He's the Secretary of like TVs in a Curry's.
Everyone's going to call that film Colin.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there'll be a small contingent of people who call it Colin.
Colin, yeah.
So, that's not going to go well.
One of my favourite...
Oh, hang on, I have heard something about this. Isn't this the director of Marshall? The director of Marshall's doing this, isn't he? Yeah, Reginald Hudlin, I believe his name is.
That's a great name.
Directed Marshall. He's directing this as well.
That's very cool.
Which I'm looking forward to.
I was going to say, one of my favourite things about working at a cinema was when people would ask for a ticket for a film, but completely get the name wrong. So instead of The Conjuring, it became The Conjuring.
Oh, God.
There was a Polish fella once that wanted a ticket for 12 Years a Slove.
What's a slove?
That's what I said.
Is it like a clove?
Maybe. I then corrected him. Maybe I shouldn't have done. I said, you mean 12 Years a Slave? And then he said, no, slove. 12 Years a slove. So that's what it is.
Hang on, no. You mean prisoners who have jobs?
Prisoners who have jobs. I love that so much.
Not slaves. Prisoners who have jobs. That is a Thor reference. That's all
because it's out.
Yeah,
it's out.
We can say that now because the film's out. But yes, I don't like that term. It's prisoners who have jobs.
It's the S word.
Let me talk then really quickly about Call Me by Your Name, which I think you might have heard about.
I told you about this like 6 months ago.
Because that's how long everyone's been talking about it, because it's played at every festival in existence for what seems like a
festivals.
Year.
Yeah.
It does seem about a year, doesn't it?
But the buzz is still there.
The buzz is still there. It's been tipped for Oscars, for Golden Globes, for Emmys, that kind of thing. Golden Globes? One of those is TV, isn't it? Golden Globes is TV.
Golden Globes is both.
Golden Globes is both. Emmys is TV.
Emmys is just TV.
Right, okay, so it's being tipped for every award going, and you know what? It will get mentioned when the award season properly begins. So it's directed by, we said this last week, Luca Guadagnino. Went with. Right.
Are we still going with that?
We're still going with that. And it's written by James Ivory, and it is based on a novel set in the 1980s, and it follows the relationship between Elio, who is a 17-year-old boy on holiday with his parents, and their American guest, Oliver, played by Armie Hammer, who I think is meant to be in his early 20s or 25-ish. And it's their emerging friendship and the eventual relationship that develops between them. So Armie Hammer and Timothée Chalamet star in this. And Michael Stuhlbarg turns up as Elio's dad, Mr. Perlman or Dr. Perlman, I'm not sure, but he's an academic. Yeah. Whom Armie Hammer seems to have a sort of working relationship with, and that's how he's known to sort of come as their house guest. And there's the summer in Italy in 1983, and the love that dare not speak its name. Here is a clip.
I never even heard of the Battle of Piave.
Battle of Piave was one of the most lethal battles in World War I. 170,000 people died.
Is there anything you don't know?
I know nothing, Oliver.
Well, you seem to know more than anybody else around here.
Well, if you only knew how little I know about the things that matter.
What things that matter?
You know what things.
That clip is unfair, actually, in one regard, because it makes the film sound sleazier than it actually is. And that's something you need to get out of the way with this one, because I hadn't seen a trailer. I hadn't seen any clips from it.
Had you not?
No, I kind of just managed to not see it. Not intentionally or anything like that. I just hadn't seen anything from it. I'd just seen a couple of still images, and the kind Armie Hammer in the swim shorts and the open shirt.
Yeah, you've seen the Hammer dancing meme as well?
Yes. But
Yeah.
the weird thing about this actually is that I went in based on just the plot synopsis, expecting something actually a little sleazier, like that clip would sort of inadvertently suggest. I was expecting below her mouth, but for early 80s gay men. And no,
Below his mouth.
Not below his mouth. Not the case at all. What you get, actually, is something of a very touching coming-of-age story about this 17-year-old boy, and it just happens to be, it's kind of incidental to the plot that he has this relationship with Armie Hammer's character. It's not, that's not the thrust of the plot at all. No pun intended. Don't laugh at me. I can see it bubbling up. Stop it. Anyway, that's
Why did you use that word?
I don't know. It just happened.
Yeah.
Right. It is a really touching coming-of-age story. I'm trying not to let that laugh sink in.
Just don't look at me in the eyes.
I'm not looking you in the eyes. So Timothée Chalamet is a real find, and there has been talk about having a sequel and having that character appear in other things. I can see why. Because the performance is great.
I guess before, when we saw the film, when the news came out that it was potentially going to have a sequel and then a trilogy was planned, and we were like, what?
Yeah.
But now that we've heard more about it, and now that you've seen it,
yes,
and it's been likened to the Before series.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see, and Chalamet is absolutely the reason to see the film. Its emotional range is absolutely gobsmacking. The way that it's a very raw film, and the way that he deals with the trials and tribulations of, that being that age and having that summer, and his performance is absolutely brilliant. He reminds me, actually, he's like a more talented Aaron Taylor Johnson. If you remember Aaron Johnson at that age, he's like him
before he got the Taylor.
Before he got the Taylor.
No, he was Taylor, wasn't he? Before he got the Johnson.
Was he? I don't remember if it was Aaron Taylor or Aaron Johnson. Which was he first?
Which was he?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to look that up. I apologise.
But yeah, he's like him, but he can act. And Michael Stuhlbarg, though, for me, is the MVP of this. I think
love Michael Stuhlbarg.
You will in this as well. He's playing older than his years. He is playing it older than he actually seems to outwardly be. And it's a performance that he very much brings the heart and soul to. And he does seem to be the sort of the voice of heart and soul in the whole film. It's sublimely directed. It's got a visual style that really does set it apart from other things. And actually, yes, that's where the comparison with something like the Before trilogy comes in, because it has very much that feel, that sort of, that kind of in the air, kind of ethereal quality that those films had, where you can feel the palpable relationships and the chemistry, and you can feel those sparks in the air. Armie Hammer is on fine form here, actually, I must say. I mean, he's not particularly required to do much more than we've ever seen him do before, but it's a very good performance. It's a very likeable and endearing performance, and he has that streak of arrogance that he kind of needs for it. The character needs the smug and cocky kind of American student in instantly kind of thing. What are you going to say?
Do it, Van. Do it. Say something nice about Armie Hammer.
Fine. Armie Hammer is very good in this movie, Case.
Thank you. Don't worry, I've not asked you to say something nice about Miles Teller.
I was going to say, Miles Teller sucks. But yeah, Michael Stuhlbarg, MVP, Armie Hammer, very good in it. Timothée Chalamet, breakout star of this. Please, this kid's going to have a career. He really is. And when awards season begins.
I've really been excited about this film. And for good reason.
Deservedly so. I think when you see it, you'll very much get to the nerve of it quite quickly, and you'll see the why it's as regarded as it is.
Yeah.
But I liked it very much. I did. I liked it a lot more than Breathe, and seeing both those films the same day, I saw them back to back, Breathe and Call Me by Your Name, and it was a case of, it seems weird that we've got two films of this sort of, historical period piece, that are about human relationships and adversity. It seemed weird seeing them both back to back. I mean, if they'd been broken up by Grace Jones, it would have been a very interesting day. But
you always need Grace Jones in the middle. You need a Grace Jones sandwich.
Exactly. So we have to pick a film of the week. So
there's been some good ones. I mean, Geostorm, obviously Geostorm.
But Geostorm technically opened last week. Thor Ragnarok.
So you're calling it film of the month, is what you really call it?
Film of the year, man. I mean, Thor Ragnarok opened on Tuesday, so technically that's film of this week.
Wasn't it film last week as well?
It was also the film of last week, though. So
it's very good.
It's very good, very, very good. However, I'm going to give film of the week on its own merit to Perfect Blue. I'd never seen it. I think it's tremendous. I genuinely think it's brilliant. I think everyone should see this film the first chance they get. I think it's great. For a 20-year-old anime film, I'm sold. I really am. But I know it's had its.
It's weird, but like it's 20 years old. So it's
20 years old. It's film of the week. But also, if you've never seen if you've never seen The Shining, obviously you should see that because we're going to review that in podcast extras along with Jigsaw. But alas, next week we've got some stuff, and you're coming with me to press shows next week.
This was the news.
Yes,
this is the news.
Yeah, so Monday you're with me all day for press shows. So you and I.
That's going to be exciting. There's going to be loads of pictures on our feed of just hanging out in London.
And our repertoire for the day on Monday, so films we're reviewing next week that we'll be seeing together, includes Marjorie Prime with John Hamm. Hambo. We've got The Killing of a Sacred Deer with Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman.
Can't wait for that.
We've got 7852, a documentary about the shower scene in Psycho. That's just going to be amazing. And we'll be rounding out our day of press shows with the legendary cosmic battle through the stars that is Predator.
I've never seen Predator on a big screen.
Oh, I think I've seen
it
once on a big screen. I loved it. Also out next week, we're going to have a reissue of The Silence of the Lambs.
It's just that time of year, isn't it?
Just that time of
October.
year. We're going to have Thelma as well. We're going to have Ferrari Race to Immortality, which is an interesting documentary about guess what? And the sequel that's got a kind of a rival 3 weeks behind it, A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Boo!
3 weeks before Daddy's Home 2, otherwise known as A Bad Daddy's Christmas.
I'm a man, and apparently you can only be one good gender, according to the first film. Go away. Mila Kunis.
So hang on, no, the part of that film is the men are good, the women are bad. That's the way that title is structured.
But the plot of that film is that there has to be one parent that just does everything, and for all the time it's just been women.
You are right. You are absolutely right.
And then the resolution of the film is just all the guys just being miserable. Why can't everyone just be miserable together and have to do everything together?
Doesn't the trailer set forth the idea
Why can't we just be equally
mums
annoyed?
Can't enjoy Christmas?
Yeah, so it's the first film, but just in December.
It's got Larry David's wife in it.
Do you know what? It's got Shell Hound, it's got Christine Baranski, and it's got Susan Sarandon, so that's great.
I'm sold. So Susan Sarandon reminds me of my mum, though, so
really?
I can't say anything. But, right, so we've got all those to come and more next week off screen. In the meanwhile, this has been a Candy Store production for On Screen. I've been Van Connor.
I've been Case Jones, Bloodlight and Bami.
And we'll be back.
Just show me the way to get out of here, and I'll be on my way.
You've been listening to Off Screen. For more news and reviews, visit onscreenfilm.com.
Okay, cut. That's a wrap.
Podcast extra bits. Extra bits of pod.
More podding.
More podding for you.
More podding for your buck. That's what it is.
Yeah. When you hear the words Dora the Explorer, do you automatically think of Michael Bay?
Well, I mean, Swiper is an annoyance who reappears no matter how often you want him to or how often you wish he'd go away. So yes, very much like Michael Bay. Yeah, very much.
He's going to produce a live-action Dora the Explorer
movie.
That's who you get. That's who you get. Who are we going to cast as Dora?
Is there an 8-year-old Mexican actress that you can immediately think of?
Probably just get that last bit was in the last Transformers.
Probably, yeah.
Should get her.
She's about 14, so a little bit. Yeah. Isabella Mona, that's her name.
Isabella Mona, yeah. But then, of course, in this, Dora will have like a 21-year-old sister.
Megan Fox.
Yeah, who will dress exclusively in belts and nothing else.
Absolutely. Oh, you mean waist chokers?
Waist chokers.
That's the tweet. That's the meme that's going around at the minute. God, I want a waist choker. But
yeah, that's happening.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Bay doesn't have kids, does he? I don't think.
I was actually just going to ask. I don't know if he does.
Although one does question, how does Michael Bay discover the existence of Dora?
I think his money is his children.
Goes home at night into his Scrooge McDuck vault, hugs his notes and says, "You'll never leave me."
He just dives into them. All the women leave me, but you won't.
Oh God! Do we know anything else about this Dora Explorer thing?
That's it. I don't think it's got a writer. It's not got a cast. It's not got a director. It's just that's it.
I know someone mocked up a fan poster of
I've seen a few.
Becky G as Dora.
Yeah.
And Becky G herself put it on Instagram with, "How soon can I sign up for this?" I would not be averse to that. If you're going to make a movie, though, I mean, it's either a case of you get someone who's age appropriate and play it straight, or you go with the meta angle and get like a 20-year-old. But I don't know.
Lara Croft it.
Lara Croft it, indeed, yes.
Yeah, let's get Alicia Vikander.
So let's talk about Jigsaw, Mr. Allen. Latest in the Saw series. Are you a fan? Are you a fan of the series to date?
Yes, and I will be seeing this on Sunday. Maybe on Sunday. Yeah.
That's fair. They didn't press show this. This is why we're doing it by remote record and inserting it in after the fact very cleverly and technologically.
I know the things you can do nowadays.
I know. Yeah. So it's is it the 8th one, this one, I think, isn't it?
This is technically the 8th. Obviously, it's not called Jigsaw 8, or that they've cleverly just titled it Jigsaw.
Well, it was called Saw Legacy originally, and when you see the film, you can see why they've changed it. There is a reason it's been changed. There is a reason it's been changed. It's now Jigsaw. The idea is to set it up as a sort of a soft reboot, but when you actually watch it, it's more like, one of those TV revivals we're getting a lot of lately.
Oh, there's loads of those.
You might get Will and Grace, The X-Files, things like that. Yeah, one of those. It's like that, but it's the Saw series, so it's more or less a direct sequel.
Cool.
Okay, all right. 10 years. It's 10 years after the death of Jigsaw. So if you're following the continuity, that means it's 10 years after Saw 3.
Right.
Okay.
Got ya.
Which technically puts this in 2015. Anyway, so there's a whole new series of murders, and there's 5 people who wake up in a room, and they've all got buckets on their heads and chains around their necks, and they're being pulled towards a wall that's lined with circular saws, and this starts in motion a whole new game for John Kramer, who's been dead for a decade, and on the outside, you've got a pair of coroners who find themselves sort of implicated in it all, and kind of start investigating to try and find out what the hell's going on, how to clear their name, and how to free the people inside. So, it's another day at the Saw office.
Yeah, like, same old Saw, sounds like.
Same old Saw and dance. Here's a clip.
I'm sure you're all wondering why you're here. You deny culpability, no doubt, for the circumstances in which you find yourselves. Salvation can be yours. An offering of blood will set you free. I want to play a game.
Mayhem, carnage, screaming, buzzsaws, usual fun in the world of Saw. all the fun you've come to expect and more. Obviously, Tobin Bell is back because he kind of has to be in some capacity or other.
It just wouldn't be a Saw film.
It wouldn't be, would it? And no Dina May. None of the dead characters are back, but obviously he has to be because he's Jigsaw.
He's Jigsaw.
He's Jigsaw. He has to be, whether he's dead or alive. He's around, and they are kind of clever with it in one sense, but on the other hand, it's kind of you've played this card too many times before for it to really be that surprising. And that's the weird thing. It's really reverent to the Saw mythology. It's really embedded, and it's not got a very good pedigree of writers. It really hasn't, and yet it's actually pretty sharp. No pun intended. Yeah, I know. Considering that the guy that wrote this wrote Good Luck Chuck. I mean, really?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the Dane Cook Penguin rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Penguin rom-com. We all remember that fondly.
You've got to specify there are so many Penguin rom-coms.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole subgenre now.
It's like this, Mr. Popper's Penguins. That's it.
Pretty much. We're gonna find another one now, just to annoy people.
We need to find the third of the trilogy.
The third, definitely. I mean, the fourth of the trilogy. We're going with the girl and the dragon tattoo thing. Yeah. So the real star, though, are the real stars are the Spearig brothers, who have sort of joined the franchise. They're the new directors, and they've come from outside of the franchise. So not the usual case of the second unit director of the last one has stepped up to be the primary director this time, which is usually the way.
It's usually the case. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Spearig brothers brought us Predestination and Daybreakers, so they're kind of down with the whole horror aesthetic, and they have a way of making this look actually pretty interesting. And for one thing, it goes quite rural this time, actually, in a very strange way. You wouldn't think Saw and rural go together, but they kind of do, and it does work.
You never really see the action take place outside in a Saw film.
No, you don't. I mean, this has a very barn aesthetic. I mean, you might have caught that in the trailers. Lots of farm equipment. I did see that in the trailer,
yeah.
Yeah. Usual band of red shirts, for your cast. You've got your Laura Vandervoort from Saw. You've got Mandela Van Peebles, which is one of my favourite names for an actor ever.
That's an incredible name. I love that.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine being Mandela and a Van Peebles. That is royalty twice there.
There is someone on the planet called Bumble Ward. It's... Yeah, it's bad.
You know. We've also got on the outside, they're victims. They're two of the victims. On the outside, playing the cops, you've got Callum Keith Rennie from loads of Canadian TV shows. I always remember him from Due South, where he was the second Ray.
No way. Yeah, I remember him in Due South. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you remember the second
I used to
Ray.
love that show, the second Ray. Yeah.
Yeah, Stanley Kowalski, which is a terrible name, and his wife's name was Stella. Go figure.
I mean, it is no Mandela Van Peebles, was it?
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
No.
But you have got, I think his name's Jared Passmore, who's playing the sort of would-be lead, as it were. He's one of the two coroners, and he's like an Australian alpha male version of Corey Stoll. And I really like it, man. He brings genuine gravitas to it that actually does kind of sell it beyond its schlockiness.
Okay.
And you think, okay, this guy could pull off horror in future. I'd be down for that. I did enjoy it. It is grisly and it is nasty and it's all the stuff that you want from a Saw movie that you've come to expect. If you're not a fan, this ain't going to make you a fan.
Yeah, it doesn't reinvent the rusty wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't reinvent the rusty circular saw, as it were.
The rusty circular saw. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you are a fan of the series as it exists so far, if you've been with it since, is it 2003 or 2004? It's been around since.
I think it's 2004. Yeah.
If you've been a fan of it since then, like, I mean, I've been watching them since they came out. I was very up for this. I had a good time with it. You know, I laughed, I whooped, I cheered, I grizzled in absolute horror. And I have to give it one credit.
What's that?
There is a gruesome effect that you have seen attempted in so many films. I'm not going to say what it is. You've seen this attempted in so many films, and it always looks naff. And these guys managed to pull it off. It actually does work, just for a change.
I'm excited to see that. That'll be good.
There you go. Yeah. So Saw Legacy, as it were, is now Jigsaw. It's in cinemas. Go see it. It's awesome. Yeah. I loved it.
There's going to be an X-23 spin-off.
X-23? Oh, Logan, Daphne Keane. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, I have feelings on that because I was a fan of the books.
Feeling so many feelings.
I'm feeling all the feelings. You liked Logan, didn't you? Much as I did.
I love Logan, yeah. Logan was, I think it was universally liked, wasn't it?
No, I think it more or less was.
Yeah.
I read a couple of the X-23 miniseries that they put out a few years ago, and I think there was X-23 Target X was really good. It was but I think she was meant to be about 14, 15 in it, though. So maybe a couple of years sort of on from Logan, more aged on from Logan at least.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know, I think that character worked amazingly well in that film, but I don't know if it could support its own.
She was quite mute as well, that was the whole thing.
So I'd be interested in that, actually. It's like The Shape of Water, isn't it? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Your protagonist is mute.
There's an opportunity, though, to do the superhero version of Leon with her,
yes.
I think. Just have, who are the surviving characters from Logan? Who could we use as the Jean Reno character there?
I think it wasn't really anyone,
was there? Anyone? No, it wasn't.
Nothing but kids survived that film.
Yeah.
Everybody dies. Even the guy from ER that showed up for like 2 minutes, he dies.
Even Stevie Merchant copped it in that one. I mean,
yeah.
Good God. Okay, so
that film was bleak.
Yeah, no Leon.
Everyone dies.
No Leon for you.
I'm sure Jean Reno will turn up.
Jean Reno hasn't been in a superhero movie yet, so
we need more French superheroes.
We do. I mean, I'm not including Channing Tatum's Gambit, of course.
Cajun.
He's Cajun, so he's a bit French.
A bit French, yeah.
A bit.
It's just, what even is Cajun? It's a mishmash of, it is a gumbo of an accent, isn't it?
It is,
great.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm just looking forward to seeing Channing Tatum try that accent, but
well, he's from the South. And I think he spent a lot of time like Louisiana and stuff.
That would explain how he actually is so convincing in Logan Lucky, actually.
Yeah, he's got that drawl down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really happy when it was announced.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's who you get. You need someone of that size.
You need a star.
You need a star for
to
that
sell
particular.
Gambit.
Yeah,
you absolutely do. Just because you'll get the nerds in, because all nerds love Gambit. It's like just the unwritten rule.
Yeah.
And in order to sell it to the mainstream...
Even though he's a bit of a weird character.
He's a bit. What's his power? I can fling supercharged playing cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs something else about him.
Look at the last time they tried to do something with that character. They went up with Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch, yeah. I feel so sorry for Taylor Kitsch.
I don't know.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, yes.
He doesn't have a great agent. It
No, he
seems.
doesn't. No, he doesn't have a great agent.
No.
Whose agent was I bemoaning recently? Oh, I think it was Brie Larson, wasn't it?
Who?
I was bemoaning her agent. You were off that week. That's why, because it wasn't in the top 10. I watched the Glass Castle, not the Last Castle. That was the Robert Redford thing with James Gandolfini.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Very different movie.
Oh man, I forgot all about that film even existing.
Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo was his sidekick, wasn't he?
Oh man,
I think that might be the first movie I ever saw Mark Ruffalo in.
I need to go back and watch like that and Spy Games and
That was prime Redford. Right.
Have you seen that they're doing like Planet Earth but as a film? So they've like recut the BBC footage. So
Oh no,
it's called Earth One Day or something like that.
We reviewed it last week. Yeah, we actually did. That's actually a thing. We actually reviewed this last. It's fine. We review about 10 films a week, so you can be completely forgiven. Not only did we review it, you sat and listened to a clip and then said, "That sounds quite good." It's okay, Casey. It happens. I forget entire movies I've seen.
I saw the trailer for it yesterday and was like, "This is great."
It's not a recut. It's actually a completely original.
Is it? 'Cause it's got. I thought it might have been a recut because it's got the lizard running away from snakes.
It's just. I think that's just this. You can get that footage easily. I think so. No, they have done it. They've done it all from scratch. So it's a completely intentionally feature-length one shot. They've done.
I was going to bring it around to a point as well, and I've gone completely off the rails.
Do you not remember me saying that in certain parts of the world, Jackie Chan does the voiceover?
I didn't remember you coming into my house earlier today.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought you were just always here.
Okay, fair enough.
Actually, I do remember you saying about Jackie Chan.
Yeah, that's why I thought it sticks out. Okay, so what was the point you were swinging back to with Robert Redford?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. What were we even talking about? Talking about Dora. We were talking about X-23. How did we get from X-23?
We were talking about how bad Brie Larson's agent was, and then I confused the Glass Castle with the Last Castle.
Do you know who else's agent I feel needs to be shown the door?
Ours.
We have agents?
No.
Toby Kebbell.
Yes. Toby Kebbell's agent needs talking to, clearly, because that's a great actor who's just not getting great work.
No, he's just becoming like that bargain villain guy.
Kind of is a bit.
He's so much better than that.
Well, how thankless is he in Kong Skull Island?
Yeah, really thankless.
I mean, ignoring the fact that he plays Kong.
Yeah, he does some of the mocap, doesn't he?
Does some of the mocap for Kong?
Well, I think it was him and Terry Notary as well.
I think something. Oh yeah. It's Notary, isn't it? Notary, Notary.
The guy that's in the square.
Yeah. But like his human element in that film is more. You could lock that out for no reason.
Yeah. This is why are you there?
I mean, it's been so long since he stole the show in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. But
great film. Should have been a franchise.
Should have been a franchise. How dare you make Pirates a series and not this? But Should we do our final review of the week then? Shall we talk about The Shining? It's back. It's in cinemas. It's now. Is it 37 years old, this film now? It's 1980, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's back for no reason other than it's Halloween.
It's Halloween, yeah.
And, it's got a new 7-minute documentary attached to it, which is yet another think piece about The Shining. I don't know if you've ever
like Room 237. We've spoken about this. Yeah.
I think you know how I feel about Room 237.
You know how I feel about it.
Yeah, good God. Yeah. So anyway, The Shining, we don't really need to do much of a review for this one because it's the classic Stephen
It's The Shining.
King. Yeah, it's
The Shining.
Odds are you've seen it. Odds are you've seen the Simpsons parody of it. Odds are
I watched it 2 nights ago, actually.
Exactly. You may well have seen Room 237. You may well have seen the made-for-Sci-Fi Channel remake of this. So, Jack Torrance, the author, takes a job as the winter caretaker for the Overlook Hotel, starts to lose his mind, or is he? Maybe a ghost, or is he? Starts to get a little bit murderous, or is he? And in the meanwhile, his son happens to be a psychic.
And Scatman Carruthers is in it.
And he has the greatest name ever. Here's a clip.
What should be done with him?
I don't know.
I don't think that's true. I think you have some very definite ideas about what should be done with Danny, and I'd like to know what they are.
Well, I think maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
You think maybe he should be taken to a doctor?
Yes.
When do you think maybe he should be taken to a doctor?
As soon as possible.
As
soon as possible.
Jack Nicholson there and Shelley Duvall, and he's so good in this movie, isn't he?
Yeah, she is as well. She went through some stuff.
Oh, she was like, by all accounts, outright tortured by this movie.
Yeah, she was losing clumps of her hair.
Yeah.
At one point.
You watch it.
Works good, doesn't it?
It did.
Gets results.
You
Can't
watch it,
argue
it
with a
holds
man who
up.
gets results.
Yeah, it holds up, doesn't it? It absolutely, to this day, maintains the unbridled...
Tell Stephen King that.
Yeah, tell Stephen King. But,
Steph King.
But for my money, it's probably the most iconic, second most iconic Stanley Kubrick film after 2001. Do you think? I'd say, arguably, and then maybe Doctor Strangelove in third.
I don't know. Because I probably put Doctor Strangelove and Full Metal Jacket.
Ooh, yes, good point. But the thing watching this back, the thing that really surprised me actually is that Jack Nicholson performance, and you think this is only 10 or so years after Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, so he's still in his leading man prime, and it's amazing how well he goes for the full dramatic, unhinged psychopath.
Yeah, he goes full Jack, doesn't he?
But it's also The Shining for me maintains its position as that masterclass of framing, that just the way it uses its iconography and its film student credentials.
It's when it zooms in on the Overlook Hotel and the lake and stuff. And I've not watched it in reverse. A lot of people say watch it in reverse.
I've heard that as well.
I'm also not mad.
Exactly. I'm not insane, and I'm never watching Room 237 again.
Yeah. No, there's a theory. Well, there's a few theories about, but one of them it says if you've got it on two different screens, if you play one forwards and one backwards, it kind of lines up.
Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting, because there are a lot of shots repeated that would lead to that theory.
I might be interested to do it once, but I mean, short on time, aren't I?
Well,
I'm going to die at some point. Why am I going to spend all my time watching films backwards and watching them forwards? The films I actually want to watch.
It also totally syncs up to Dark Side of the Moon. But,
oh, definitely, yeah.
Do you know that's true of Wizard of Oz and
Wizard of
Dark
Oz,
Side?
we say.
Right, so are there any other films where that's actually ever been proven? Like it syncs up to an album?
I'm going to try it with Dora the Explorer when it comes out.
Dora the Explorer and Master of Puppets. There we are. That totally works.
Dora.
I could totally believe that.
Yeah,
do you want to give me a last piece of film news for the week?
Right, so, who do you think is the most profitable actor of the last 40 years?
Steven Seagal.
I mean, he's got some other list, hasn't he? Somewhere.
I mean, he's earning $12 million for every one of those direct-to-DVD action movies he does.
And there's a lot. If you go to Tesco, you'll find at least 5.
Oh, exactly. They're pretty much buy one, get one free at this stage. They're universally loved. Who is it, though? Go on.
No, I think they just get one free. I don't think you have to buy them anymore.
I'm convinced the process for those movies is literally, is there a rapper that Steven Seagal hasn't made a movie with yet? Oh, who? Chance the Rapper. Okay, get him in with Seagal.
I'd see that.
Yeah, you've got a movie.
I'd really see that.
Yeah.
And they team up to try to save Chicago.
Exactly.
Because Chance the Rapper is obviously...
Always Chicago.
It's always Chicago with that boy.
Have you watched any of those Seagal movies recently?
I mean, no.
They are terrible.
Hey, if I've not got time to watch The Shining in reverse, I'm not going to watch a new Steven Seagal film, am I?
That's fair. Priorities. I
would watch Executive Decision again, though.
No, okay. I would watch that again. I watched it recently.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah. Johnny Legs, though.
Johnny Legs?
It's all about Johnny Legs, man.
It's always about...
And David Suchet is an Arab terrorist.
Is Halle Berry in it?
Yes, Halle Berry is the sort of kind of love interest.
Sort of, kind of, maybe-ish.
Yeah.
I will take you out of suspense. The most profitable actor of the last 40 years is, of course, Emilio Estevez.
Oh, okay. This news.
Of course it is. Of course.
I did read this. It's based on a dollar spent for dollar earned ratio, isn't it? Right. So he's got a figure, like, for every dollar spent on him, what is it that he earns? It's going to be $6, something like that?
$6.70.
$6. So for every dollar you spend on one of his movies, budget-wise, you get $6.70 back.
Do you want to know who the runners-up are?
Go on.
All these people would never be in a sentence together. So Jean-Claude Van Damme, obviously.
Fair enough.
$4.20. Mel Gibson, $3.50.
Okay. $3.50. Gibson gets $3.50.
$3.50.
Okay.
Tyler Perry.
Oh God.
$3. And when you think Tyler Perry, you think Dudley Moore.
Of course, yeah, Snatch, yeah, totally.
Yeah, they were partners for a long time, weren't they? After...
Dudley Moore even make movies anymore? Isn't this... Hang on, this goes back to 1980, doesn't it? It's 80 onwards.
Dudley Moore, famously long dead. Long dead.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. There's a female list as well. No, hang on. Emilio
Let's
Estevez...
find the female one.
Emilio Estevez is the highest male star, but I think the highest overall star is a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Because
Who do you think?
I know who it is, and I can explain it to you. It's Rose Byrne.
It is
isn't
Rose Byrne.
You know the actual explanation for that?
What's that?
Rose Byrne was in Star Wars twice. That's how it works.
Is she in the posse?
She's in Amidala's posse. Yeah. She's in Star Wars movies. So, of course, the budget for those movies... Yeah. Which is kind of weird, because you would assume Kate Blanchett now. Well, yeah, you wouldn't. But
why her and not, like...
Because
she's not been in that many films. Is that why?
We get a similar poll every year that's highest grossing stars, and Samuel L. Jackson tends to come quite high in those because he stars in so many franchises.
Yeah, and Star Wars.
Well, exactly. Different thing entirely, because she stars in a lot of low budget movies. This is how the balance works. If you star in low budget movies, your ratio is actually going to be better than if you're George Clooney and you only star in 30 or 40 million ones.
So, like Brad Pitt, 10 cents.
Yeah. Johnny
Depp, 20 cents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the thing. If you only star in big films, your ratio will be lower.
So basically, Jackman. Do a made-for-TV movie every now and again.
Exactly. You do a TV movie like Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig did, and you're set, man. You're absolutely set.
I love that news so much.
Oh, God. How did Nicolas Cage not make this list?
How did Nicolas Cage not make this list? How did he not?
Because Bangkok Dangerous can't cost very much.
I don't think Nick Cage has seen a profit in a long time, because it goes on like castle mortgages, doesn't it?
Yeah,
he's got to buy more like dinosaur eggs.
Oh God! Did you think
more motorbikes that run on like snake oil?
How do you think the insurance company responds? Like Nicolas Cage phones them up every year. Hi, it's time for my renewal. I want to insure my castles. How does that work?
I want to insure my documents I got from National Treasure.
Yes, I
need to insure the Declaration of Independence.
On which note, here it is, your moment of National Treasure Cage.
It's a clue.
These twins stand resolute. Let's see. Resolute twins. Resolute. And then twins. Siamese twins. Siam. Trade routes between France and Thailand. Well, that's ridiculous. HMS Resolute. A British ship that got lost in the Arctic in the 1800s. It was salvaged by American whalers. Then Congress sent it back to England. When the ship was finally retired, Queen Victoria had 2 desks made from its timbers. Voila! Resolute twins.